you a perfectionist? Do you have trouble releasing your work into the world because you just don't think it's ready yet? It's not perfect. The problem with perfectionism is we think it's a good trait. That's the first problem. We think it's a good trait to have, and so we believe that if we're perfect, if we produce perfect work, we're a perfect parent, we have a perfect body, all these things that are perfect, that we will succeed in life. That people will love us, they won't judge us, we'll be accepted, we'll be successful. And the fact is that perfectionism holds us back from exactly that. It holds us back from success in every area of our life. Why? Because perfectionism stops you from putting your work out into the world, from looking for a new relationship, from believing that anything you do is good enough. And so you just don't do it. You may be working on whatever, whether it's your book or your parenting skills or your ability to speak in public or your ability to attract a mate. You could be working on any number of things, but because you are a perfectionist, you're always waiting for perfect. And perfect doesn't happen. There is no perfect. There is no perfect. So you're going to be waiting till doomsday for things to be perfect so that you can release them into the world, move forward, take action, and you're never going to be successful that way at anything. The better thing to focus on rather than perfection is progress. I have a friend, she always says, make progress, not perfection. And I love that saying, make progress, not perfection, because progress is getting you towards your goal. And that end goal doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be good enough. It has to be your best effort, but it does not have to be perfect. So in order to help you make more progress, which is how you're going to create some inspired results, I want you to move away from perfection and focus on progress. And I have 4 tips to give you today on how to make progress, not perfection. The first one is to create small goals with deadlines. What I find is that large goals can feel overwhelming, but also we have this sense that there's so much to do, it's never going to be perfect, and so we keep working and working and working at it, and it's never done and it's never perfect. So my suggestion to you is that you create small goals with deadlines. So take your big goal, chunk it down into little pieces, and for each one it gets a deadline, and then there's a final deadline, okay? And when you get to that deadline, that date, it's a date on the calendar, when you get to that deadline, you are done, period. So you have to do as much work as you can. You have to do your best to make that deadline, okay? And when you're done, you're done. It makes me think about the writers I work with. Excuse me. I work with so many writers, and they're working on their book for years and years and years. It's never done. At a certain point, you have to say it's done. Hand it over to the editors. Let them tell you it's done or tell you it's not done. But have some deadline there, okay? It goes to the editors, it comes back to you, you work on it, you send it back to the editor fixes it, done. Publish. Send it out into the world. It's the same with everything, okay? So small goals with deadlines. Number 2, choose an evaluation system for whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're working on, whether it's your physical health, your relationship, a project at work. Create an evaluation system. You need a set of criteria that tells you something's done, not that tells you it's perfect. Now you can do that because we need to know what perfect looks like. If we keep saying we want things to be perfect, then we have to at least know what perfect looks like. So create a set of criteria for your perfect, but it has to be reasonable. It has to be your best effort, not necessarily something with no errors at all. You can always have a version 2, 1.0 and a version 2.0. So create an evaluation system so that you know when you're done. You know when it's finished. You know when it's good enough. Okay? And number 3 is to have a good enough attitude, because having a perfectionism attitude is going to keep you stuck. You're never going to finish anything because it's never going to be perfect. So have a good enough attitude. That doesn't mean turn out schlock. It means just just know when something is good enough to be released into the world, whether it's good enough for you to get up on stage, whether it's good enough for you to go to a dating event, whether it's good enough for you to hit publish at Kindle on your ebook. Okay, so you want to have an attainable goal and be okay with it being good enough, being your best effort at this moment. Okay, not necessarily perfect. And then number 4 is to explore what you're afraid of, because perfectionism really is based in fear of rejection, of not being good enough, of being judged, of failing. So explore your fears in a journal and ask yourself if they're real. Are these fears real, or is it just some potential result that could happen that hasn't happened yet? Am I afraid of something that hasn't even happened yet? Because that's crazy. You don't want to be afraid of that. You don't want to have that stop you. It could never happen. So just play around with, what are you afraid of? What makes you want to be a perfectionist? What makes you want to make sure everything's perfect? I love what my son has to say about perfectionism. He's a dancer, a ballet dancer, and he says what he likes about ballet is that you're always striving for perfection, but there's no way to be perfect because you can always be better. And maybe that's what I like so much about high performance work, high performance coaching, that you are always striving to be better. You're reaching a peak or a summit and you're going beyond that to the next peak and the next summit. You're not sliding down. You're always trying to better yourself, better your behavior, better your actions, better your production, better your results. And so I really think that this is about stopping that focus on perfection and just looking at what you want to produce. So really think about that. How is perfection stopping you from getting where you want to go? Okay? How is perfection stopping you from getting where you want to go? And start making progress, not perfection. Make progress. Keep leveling up in everything you do and know that you're putting in your best effort and have that be enough, but just keep working. Keep working to get better. I'm Nina Amir. I'm the Inspiration to Creation Coach. I am also a certified high performance coach. I help people level up in the way we're talking about today. I'm one of 300 elite high performance coaches, and if you would like a free discovery session with me, an hour with me to think about how you can level up in your life and get from where you are now to where you want to go, please go to ninaamir.com/free session. Or just go on over to ninaamir.com and click on the personal growth area and you'll see the high performance coaching. But you can get a free strategy session with me. Just download the application, send it to me, and we'll schedule a time to get together. I'm also an author coach and author trainer, and I'd love to help you with your book as well, if that's what you are here to do. In any case, I would love to help you focus on getting the results you want and achieving your potential and fulfilling, having a fulfilling and fully lived life. So that's it for today. As always, go out and achieve more inspired results.